back on the Bad Boy Show. And today we're talking about 7 ways you might not be compatible with a chick. All right? Mm-hmm. And so what does that mean to be compatible? So being compatible, basically it just means that you two like match, y'all fit, y'all get along. Like, you know, things are going to work out because you guys have a vibe, an energy that flows together. You understand what I'm saying? But when you're not compatible, right, it's the opposite. It's like, you know, y'all have different views on things. You guys clash, you know, it just doesn't fit. It doesn't work out. You know, you're on 2 different like wavelengths. You understand? Y'all just kind of, you know, it just doesn't gel well. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so what I have here is 7 ways that you might not be compatible with a chick, because sometimes dudes, they be trying so hard to make a certain thing happen with a chick, but you just might not be compatible with her. You understand what I'm saying? You and her just don't work out. The shit just don't fit, and you gotta charge it to the game. You gotta keep that shit pushing. And I think that's something that you know, guys don't take into account, because dudes is like, oh, I don't want to approach a girl, or I don't want to talk to a girl because I'm gonna get rejected. Cool, you should be getting rejected because y'all might not be compatible. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might not work out. You understand? So, you know, you gotta understand that that's part of the game. Like, there's gonna be times where you're not compatible with a chick, or sometimes guys will try to make something work. Like, they may be dating a girl, hooking up with her, whatever, and they want this girl to be their girlfriend. But you, as time goes on, you start to realize that, hey, me and this chick is not really on the same page. Like, I'm not really feeling what she's doing. You know, she's on some other shit, I'm on some other shit, and it just doesn't work good, and we're just not compatible. You know what I'm saying? So you guys have to understand that, like, every time when shit don't work out or when you get rejected or whatever, you know, it's not a thing that you got to be all upset about, because shit just is supposed to be that way sometime. You know what I mean? It's just part of the game.
Right.
Now, I'm going to go through 1 through 7. This is in no order of importance, but we're going to just go through them and talk about it. Now, this is interesting. This is a very interesting thing. So the third thing we have on the list of where you might not be compatible with a chick is you actually feel nothing when you get sexual with her. Okay? You actually feel nothing when you get sexual with her. So what does this mean? This means that you're going to meet a chick. Let's say y'all go on a date or some shit, or even a chick you talking to at a bar or whatever. And let's say y'all start kissing, and you kiss this girl, but you don't really feel nothing. Meaning, like, it's almost like you're kissing your hand. You understand what I'm saying? like there's nothing there. Like, you just don't feel it. Like, it's just like you feel that you're kissing lips, but you don't get that energy. You understand what I'm saying? Like that feeling of, damn, like, this shit feel good. I want to fuck the shit out of her. You don't feel none of that shit. You understand what I'm saying? And if you've been with enough women, you come across at one point a chick like that. You understand what I'm saying? Where you're basically not compatible sexually. You understand what I'm saying? It just is what it is. That shit happens sometimes. That happens to the point where, you know, you'll kiss that girl and it'll feel like blah. It'll feel like whatever. And then you'll try to have sex with her and you're just not really feeling it. Like, you're having sex with her. The sex is probably kind of whack. You understand what I'm saying? You're just watching yourself fuck her, but you're not really into it. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're not compatible sexually. You understand? You just don't feel it. You understand? When she touches you, you don't really get that feeling. And that happens sometimes. So, like, when you're dealing with, and this is the thing, sometimes it's not even necessarily that you're not attracted to the woman, because I've been in situations where there was chicks that I thought was bad as shit, and then we kissed, and I was just like, yo, like, I don't feel shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm like, I could probably still smash, but I'm sure if I do, it might just be on some whatever shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's just a feeling that you get where it's just like, you're not really feeling it. And it's funny too, because there's other times where there will be girls who were even, I would consider, less attractive than those girls that I fucked with, but the shit felt great. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So we were more sexually compatible. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But Miles, what's your thoughts on that shit though?
Well, a lot of people may not want to believe it, but a big part of sex begins in the mind.
Facts.
And if you don't, if your mind is two different places, or if you don't have, there's that thing called chemistry. You see,
right?
And sometimes I've been in situations where just by hearing what a woman had to say, it made me want her sexually. Like we would like, I'd have a conversation with a woman about business and entrepreneurship, and just to hear a woman say certain things about making money in business,
right,
got me excited. Like, you feel me? And it's like, man, I want to smash shorty. Like, you feel me?
Right.
And it almost didn't even, not to say that it didn't matter how she looked, but it wasn't really about her looks. It was about the fact that we connected on something that was important to me. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then there've been other times where I'm fucking chicks that look like any one of these Instagram models, and I'm just like,
right,
right. Like I'm just literally waiting for my dick to nut, and so I could put on my clothes and leave, because it's like, I'm not, there's nothing really keeping me here. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it takes a little bit more than just physical sex to sometimes to have a connection, to be compatible. And I know a lot of guys, if they're in a certain situation where they're in a drought, or they never had sex before, or they're just like, they're just trying to build up their game, it's like that's the farthest thing from their mind. But when you reach a level where you know the ins and outs of dealing with women, and you know the ins and outs of getting sex, that's when you start to look more at the details, and that's when you start to figure, well, I want it to happen this way. Right. I want to feel this way about the girl before I fuck her. I don't want to just, you see what I'm saying? Right. Because it's like when your parents buy you a car, right? You young, 16, 17, and your parents, let's just say your parents buy you a car.
Right.
Most of the time, unless you're like a spoiled rich kid, most of the time you don't give a fuck what car it is. You don't care that it's a, you know what I'm saying? You don't care that it's a fucking, some no-name Japanese car that nobody ever heard of. You just know that now you could get in your car and you could drive. You could go pick up your friends, and you have to go to the mall. You have to chill. You have to talk shit. You have to play the radio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then later on, after you've driven and you've gotten a little older, you start making your own money and stuff like that. That's when you start to say, okay, well, I want a BMW. I want it to be red. I want it to have leather seats. I want it to have a sunroof.
Right.
You start to. It's not about just the car anymore. It's about the details. It's about how you want things to be done.
Right.
So that's what it. That's the difference between different levels of the game. A lot of guys may be at a certain level where it's like, I don't give a fuck about chemistry, none of that shit. I don't care. Like you probably, dudes are probably listening to the title of the show saying, compatible? What? Nigga, I don't give a fuck if I'm compatible with a bitch.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
I'm just trying to smash. Like, who gives a fuck about that? But the point we're trying to make is that, like, after a certain point, after you've gotten enough pussy, after you've been on enough dates, certain other things begin to show themselves to become a little bit more important to you, where you're like, well, I need for the chick to be a certain way. I need for us to be on a certain page. I need for the conversations to be at a certain point for me to really build up that real attraction, so I could really, like, you know what I'm saying, enjoy myself with her.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because listen, there's two different. There's different things. You can enjoy fucking. You understand? But it's the same thing as. It's probably the same thing as beating off, because you literally just enjoy the physical act of your penis being, agitated to the point of ejaculation. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's just the plain physical part of it. But then there's another part of it where you feel like you feel different. You feel good. You feel like this is where my dick is supposed to be type shit. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, it's a whole nother feeling where it's like, yo, like, I like fucking this broad. Like, I not only like fucking this broad, but I actually like fucking this broad. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
It's different. I mean, it's I don't know if it's that easy to explain. Like I said, to the guys who don't really give a fuck about all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But the point too also is when you find yourself in these situations, it's almost like the guy in the subscriber email
Right.
talking about, oh well, what's the point? You know, just make your money and then go have sex whenever you want. Well, but it's like, yeah, but I want to make money, but I want a chick that supports my purpose in making money. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to spend my time with a female that understands what my business is about and can actually help me and can enhance my experience with my business.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, for
Right.
example, I spoke about it on one of my videos on the Miles Cunningham channel, but Jeff Bezos, you know, his wife helped him start Amazon.
Right.
Now both of them are billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Multi-billionaires.
Right.
So this is the levels we're talking about. This is the level of this is the potential that we're talking about. The potential where you could get with somebody where your compatibility is so powerful that every idea you have gets enhanced by them to the point where you can become a fucking billionaire like Jeff Bezos and his wife. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, to the point where you come up with some type of invention, and she'd be like, oh yeah, let's put a toaster on the side.
Right.
And then you fucking sell 1 million fucking units of that product, and you're like, God damn, I'm glad you know what I'm saying? I'm glad you came in and told me to put a toaster on the side, because now it's selling like hotcakes. You feel me? And that's the type of situations you're looking for when you start to, you know, level up and not increase, but when you kind of level up and you get to that advanced level of being a man, where it's like, it's not just about the physical act anymore. It's like, you understand? You want something more.
Nah, that's real talk. That's real fucking talk, man. And so now the next thing we have, number 4, though, in ways that you might not be compatible with a chick, and this is something very important, is that y'all